What's going on, guys? So today I'm just actually doing some bulk cooking. I'm actually going to take today just to kind of rest, a little relaxation. I'm a little sore on the obliques more so than any of the other ab sections, probably from some of the stabilizing moves and stuff like the crab twists, which you've probably seen in some of the P90X2 photos that have been released. All of those work your obliques like crazy. So I want to do a quick couple minute video for you guys, just kind of talking about how I feel about this week and what I feel is kind of the good things, the bad things, all that good stuff. So I've always kind of been truthful with you guys as far as how I feel about things and what I feel is my weak points, what I feel I need to work on. And so I'm going to do the same thing with these programs, in my opinion. So hope I don't piss too many people off. So let's start off the week just kind of going through the workouts and what I feel about them. Let's see, day one, X2 core. That's a very fun workout. In itself, just in my mind, that's a good way to describe it. It's a fun workout. It's challenging for sure. It reminds me a lot of core synergistics on your rest periods on P90X, except a little bit more advanced. But it's got that fun factor to it, where it's just fun to just kind of keep along and try to get the right technique. It just has a lot of fun movements in it, where it's not like a lifting routine where you just lift, 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 lift. It's just got a lot of interactive, quick movements. They're just fun. That's a fun workout. I did definitely get some good core work on it. But it's not super, super, super intense. It's just, in my opinion, it's just a fun, good workout. It does definitely give you a good burn on your core. Plyo side. That is definitely more intense than plyometrics. It's definitely faster paced, and Tony almost expects you to pick it up rather quickly. And he does move fast, which is nice. It's good and bad. In the beginning, trying to keep up with him is different because you're not used to the movements, you're not used to the technique. But once you start actually knowing what you're supposed to do and you know what is coming up next, I'm sure that'll be a great workout because you're just gonna go boom, next, 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 next. You get your rest in between there every once in a while, just like you did in plyometrics. But you're gonna go like crazy. I think in plyometrics, some of the movements, I think before he'd explained it, so every single time you had to go through that explanation, which this time it's more of like a learn as you go. Plus, because you're not doing doubles as you do with plyometrics, this moves very quickly. It's the same time period, but it moves quicker. Just because you're not doing doubles, and maybe it's just a mindset thing where you're thinking about having to do the second set and all that good stuff. This moves rather quickly. Let me see. Rest and recovery. I actually have not done that CD yet. I actually kind of chose to relax and just rest these past couple days. I will be doing that next week. Having 2 off days in a week, although most people that are used to doing just the traditional lifting exercises are probably used to that. I kind of went a little stir crazy not having something to do, so I might even throw in some lifting throughout the week at some point, and I'll explain why here in a second. More so for my mind. Let me see here. Total body. Total body is more of what a traditional P90X workout is, where you're doing lifting. It's more interactive. It's still not super heavy lifting, where it's just hardcore lifting like P90X is. It's definitely more core work as well, but you're doing a lot of compound movements in this whole workout, just like you do with P90X, where it's hitting different muscle groups at the same time. Total body, though, literally is a total body workout. He's throwing in some leg movements, some shoulders, some biceps, some triceps, whatever. It's a fun workout. It's not fun as in the core center or X2 core, where it's just a lot of different movements. It is a little bit more weight based, but it's still very interactive, and it challenges you to push yourself. It definitely does. X2 yoga compared to regular yoga is shorter. It's 65 minutes with the warm up, I believe. And it's not the other P90X yoga is actually, I believe, an hour and 45-ish, give or take. It does go by a little faster. He does expect you to kind of know the moves by now, and it does move rather quickly. But it is a fun workout. He does actually put you in some positions that he introduces to you in this workout, which he didn't in P90X. But he moves rather quickly through the warm-up and through the workouts. And it's still split into the whole yoga, ab work, and then a little bit of stretching. So he still has that same breakout just in 60 minutes instead of the hour and a half. What else we got? Balance and power. I did that one yesterday. That one's interesting. It definitely is he throws in definitely more dumbbell exercises on it, and he does force you to do different things you haven't done. It does take a lot of core work, and this, like I said, my obliques are sore today, almost as if I had just done some extra oblique work after ab ripper, as I did at some of the P90X workouts that I did last time. Yeah, it does a lot of core work. You know, you're doing a lot of things with the balance ball where you got to stabilize your core and hold yourself on the ball and kind of maneuver yourself. It's a fun workout, but it definitely does challenge you to move your core. I remember a couple of movements I'm holding the ball and I'm just trying to stay stable, stay tight, that way I don't swing around. And some of them were difficult, especially the some of the last movements where your feet are on the ball and you got to roll the ball towards your abs so that it stays stable and roll it towards your upper core. Some of those are difficult, so I definitely will be working on a lot of those. Some of these things are things that I felt like I did need throughout my round 5 P90X, because I did kind of go heavy on the weights and I didn't really work on balance that much. I didn't really work on stretching, so I feel like phase 1 is definitely going to put me back where I was and then get me to a different level, so I'm ready to get back in powerlifting mode. So powerlifting mode, that sounds so douchey. So I'm back to kind of lifting and being limber again, because I did become very, very tight through my last round 5 because of the type of workouts I did. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really loving the roller, by the way. The roller is awesome. Whether that's mental or whether I'm actually more limber, I don't know. But I will say that I've noticed a little bit more flexibility, slightly more, just because I'm working at it and actually pushing myself to kind of touch my toes where I didn't before. Insert joke there. And so definitely I'm more flexible, which I'm excited about, because when I went back into doing some of this yoga stuff this first week, I was like, I can't touch my toes, which sucks. That's after I've been able to kind of do heels on some of the previous rounds of P90. But overall, the week is fun. It's been fun. It definitely uses a lot of medicine ball work, a lot of stability ball work. It does kind of force you to use a lot of your core, where in before it was just kind of thrown in during your ab ripper, or if you were doing things like lunges, it forced you to do your core. If you were doing core synergistics, that's when you did core in P90X. On this one, it does force you to use core this whole week. This whole week you're blasting your abs. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to talk about ab ripper X2, or ab core, or what? Ab ripper X2, whatever you want to call it. That's intense shit. That's actually literally a next level above ab ripper. The moves are more advanced. You're doing a lot of more hold poses where you're kind of controlling the weight, slowly twisting. You say, and in some of the this week at some point you did kind of like a Mason twist with a weighted ball on your knees held up while you had a weight in your hand and you're kind of like twisting, holding. That was kind of more intense than some of these movements that you did just your body weight, which I feel like sometimes when I did the, I felt like after doing ab ripper X with the weighted ankle weights, that kind of did help in preparing me for some of these movements. But overall, this week has been fun. It's a lot of core work, so it's one of those that this will be great if you're cutting also, because you're going to get all kinds of just ab work, and so it's going to really define those muscles. I'm thinking after these next couple 3 months, you should have really good abs after this. This whole week has been almost primarily ab work. I'm not going to say the other muscles were involved, because they were, but one thing I can consistently say is being worked out the whole week is ab work. One thing I will say that I am missing, which I guess you can say is a downside, is more just hardcore weightlifting. I feel like P90X was like weightlifting, cardio, weightlifting, yoga, and then just more cardio. And so this one's been more like balance work, a little bit of lifting, a little bit of weights throughout the week, but not a lot of weights. Not a lot of weight. I mean, you do some tricep kickbacks, but a lot of it's lower weight. You're using a lot less weight because of the balance and the stability you have to do on some of these ball movements. Overall, though, it's been a fun week. I'm looking forward to kind of going back and doing it again now that I have these movements a little bit more mastered than initially. And I'm looking forward to just getting back and just hitting it versus waiting and making sure I have the right technique and making sure I'm doing it right and making sure that, you know, I've got the right core stabilized and I have the right muscles engaged while I'm doing the workout. So I'm looking forward to just knowing the moves and just hearing them say it and go, 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 go. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Right now, that's not where it is. And for most people, it won't be like that unless you've done this before or you've done something similar. So, or you know you're a trainer and you know the moves. So initially, the first weeks are going to be like that for anybody, even if you're doing P90X or Insanity or whatever it is that you're doing. But I'm just looking forward to the moment where I know the movements and I can just hear them by name and just go to the next one and just pop them out. But besides that, guys, doing good. I will say that doing weighted vest pull-ups before and round 5 is sure is going to help me on some of this with some of the endurance. Maybe not so much with the endurance, but just the power pull-ups. When you were doing the 4-way pull-ups in total body, I believe, I still got up in the upper 20s because, I was used to my weight and then some on some of these movements, so that wasn't a big deal. There's not going to be a lot of room for pull-ups in this round. There isn't a lot of pull-ups, so I probably won't be using a lot of the weighted vest. I might for that movement specifically, but who knows. Eventually, when you start mastering some of this stuff, the weighted vest is going to be great for you, especially if you have one that's strapped on tightly like mine is, because once you get used to your own body weight, some of this stuff might be kind of easy and you'll be getting higher reps, so a weighted vest might be something to look into. But besides that, guys, that's it for week 1. I probably won't be doing wrap-ups every week. I'll just do a wrap-up of the new workouts as they come along. But that's it. I'm going to finish cooking. And, yeah. So, questions, comments, let me know. But if not, see you guys next week. Peace. Well, tomorrow.